So I love the idea of talking about love. There's another thing that, if I was to talk on behalf of men, maybe to the naive younger men that I meet, they seem to think that lust is the only thing that men have. Maybe men are the only people that just want to go out and get laid. Yeah. There's a maturation phase that men go through in life, or some of them go through, but they realize men and women are much similar in that sense. Now, of course, we can talk about, procreation tendencies, evolution. But one of the issues I see with young guys is they seem to think they have to be who the woman wants. As in, they have to signal, I want a relationship, I want to settle down, I want to take this seriously. But actually, for some men, there are young women that just want to be promiscuous and have protected but one-night stands. There's always a notion that one-night stands belong to men. And what men want, yeah. But there are just as many women, if maybe arguably more than one, the same. Men go out and give off these signals that are completely incorrect. Because they just don't understand the wants and needs. So if we were to look at lust between men and women, is it a 50-50 thing? Yeah, I would really say so. I think what some men get it wrong is when they lack sex appeal. And I talk a lot about it, is because you get to see women's raw emotions. Men without sex appeal will think that women are timid. They don't hold hands, they don't like kissing. They don't like sex. Men who like sex appeal. The moment women are always so horny, what's wrong with them? Like they need something. So when a man has sex appeal, he gets to see all sides of women. He thinks that women need emotional safety before they can have sex with you. So he believes that narrative. But what you realize when you have sex appeal is, a woman will go to a club, and if she's feeling herself and looking great and feeling great, and she sees a sexy guy that night, she'll sleep with him. He's done nothing to make her feel emotionally safe. But she's decided she wants to sleep with him that night, because he's activated something in her. So what men don't realize is that women don't have like a sex drive. They have a sex response. So when they see something that ignites their sexual desires, that's when they'll be activated. So the difference is, maybe men will just wake up with an erection, and they wake up ready to go with women. They would be the same if they saw something or did. Someone did something that would activate their sex appeal. So if you as a man haven't seen that side of women, you haven't activated her desire. And that's why you think women are these emotional beings that don't have lust. They have just as much lust as men. You just haven't activated it in her. Here's the #1 feedback I get from my very successful clients. How much money I saved them. Because in one session, you get the equivalent of 6 sessions somewhere else. Because I will be able to identify the exact problem that you are going through and find you the solution for you to improve your love life or emotional well-being instantly. If that's something you need, please click the link below. The manless thing that might question their levels of sex appeal. What could they do to become more appealing sexually? There's a couple of things. Firstly, of course, you look after yourself. Always start there. And what does that look like? Look here, here's the thing. You as a man have to have some self-control in different areas of your life. Money, sex, women, body. Now, if you signal from your body that you have no self-control, and you're just really overweight, and you're just not taking care of yourself. It signals to that person that you're not gonna have other admirable traits. So it just means, that doesn't mean you have to have a six-pack. It just means that when you start gaining a bit of weight, you might fast a couple of days and just get it straight again. That's all, just so you basically look after yourself in that sense. Your hygiene, all of those. So those are the typical things. But I think the second thing, which is actually really important for sex appeal, is sexual dominance. A lot of men have become really submissive sexually. And I see this a lot, because I work with a lot of men that pay for OnlyFans and pay for escorts. And the number one thing that men who pay for sex have in common is they're sexually submissive. They look for a woman that will literally just take over. Do everything for him, help him ejaculate. And then they'll get really attached to that girl because they attribute that great sex to her. Because they don't have the skills themselves. Whereas, if you look at men who are sexually dominant, whoever they touch, they'll have good sex with because they take over. But it's pretty much them that does the hard work. So they're like, okay, yes, she was great, but so was her. So every girl I touch is great because I'm there. But the men with low sexual confidence, they attribute the success of the sex to the woman because they're not dominant. And what not being dominant means is they don't know how to initiate. They kind of make her initiate. They don't really know how to kind of arouse her. They kind of want her to do all the work, and they are just submissive. And that I keep hearing that feedback for a lot of girls will say, doesn't even initiate anymore. He just kind of wants me to do everything. He doesn't even grab me or anything. He just wants me to do everything. So it's that submission that is really, really unattractive to a lot of women. Sexual dominance is sex appeal, and it's signaled without saying a word. Women can tell you've got sexual dominance without you doing anything. And how they can tell it is how confident you are. When you're just speaking to them. Men that are a bit shy and a bit nervous. And they overthink what they're about to say. That anxiety signals that they're gonna probably be overthinking when they're intimate with you. But where they're just like, oh, fuck it, you look great. Oh, your tits are huge. What have you been doing? The moment they act like that, it signals that they don't have anxiety. When we realize that you don't have anxiety, unconsciously, we think then you probably don't have performance anxiety. So unconsciously, we think you're probably going to be great. But when you signal anxiety, she translates it unconsciously sexually. I think there's definitely a breakdown where there's a few things to unpack there. One, I think that maybe I'm not an expert, just an observer. Young people maybe are petrified. Young boys to talk to women, and it's not just the rejection. I think that potentially, there was even an influence this week that I admire that did a video that an older man complimented her, and she said, that's gross, or it's really weird. And I thought that the old guy could have seen a beautiful young woman and just said, you know what, love, you look beautiful, and that. You know, it could have been something used to say to his wife. It could have been something that, he hasn't been able to express, and she went and made a reel about it. I thought that's really sad. Because young men are going to see that and think they can't compliment a woman. My thing is, when I've had a few beers, I'll compliment guys. I'll look at a guy and I'll be like, mate, you're a good-looking bloke, and they'll be like, you get I'm a nerd. I feel like you need to hear it in case you haven't heard it. I asked him if they used to play rugby, and he said no. I said it's wasted, could have made a good rugby player. Are you? There's something nice to say, nice things to other people. And I feel like maybe the compliments for a start don't come. Then there's the banter. One of my friends who was a bit of a short king, he used to banter women, in a way where, on a night out, he'd go, "Oh, you're not going out dressed like that. Are you?" And they'd be like, "What? What's wrong with what I'm wearing?" He'd go, "No, no, no, there's nothing wrong." And they'd be like, "Are you serious?" They'd say, "No, I'm only joking, yeah." But it would let their guard down. They would have a laugh. They'd be like, "Oh, you're such a prick." Mm-mm. And it means that there'd be some cohesion. They'd be able to talk and even, like you say, he wasn't anxious. No anxiety. The only thing you need to signal to a woman is you don't have anxiety. The moment she sees anxiety in you, she translates it intimately. And this is unconscious, she doesn't even know it. She'll say something like, "I think he's just a bit too nice," or "He's a bit too respectful," or they don't know how to articulate this thought. But the signal is like, "Look, the reason why you might have had a lot of success with women is because you can compliment men and women equally. Chances are you probably can compliment people you're not attracted to. It's as simple as that."